Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to discuss the ball worshippers right now. I need a little bit of a break from that to recharge my mana. This is going to be more of like a celebration stream of consciousness. We're going to mock some boomers. We're going to get into some Brian Orr lore, and I'm just going to see where it takes us, okay? It used to be that the boomers would take the Atastupa. If you don't know what the Atastupa is, it was a large cliff that they would leap from when things got tough. And this would happen in, famine, dire times. And these paleo boomers would do the honorable deed, and instead of letting their progeny suffer under their weight, they would relieve them of the resources that they take up. Nowadays, it's the complete opposite. We have boomers on the lake in their Viking longship yachts with concubines from Byzantium, watching on in glee as their mercenaries punt millennials off the cliff and cheering on as they fall and hit that rock floor like wet cement. These boomers do not have any sense of propriety. We used to live in a society where beauty, youth, fertility, those were the things that were worshipped in the Hyperborean culture of the before time. Now it's the complete opposite. We worship old age. We want to cling on to life forever. We worship antinatalism and ugliness. And everything has been inverted. Valhalla was a thing for a reason, okay? You didn't want to be living till 95 years old, okay? Who the fuck wants to live that old? Joints are aching, you took an arrow to the knee and you can barely freaking move for the rest of your life after that. Like, it's no wonder that Valhalla was such a massive part of their ethos. Like, nobody wants to stick around that long in this freaking realm. Okay? You might as well go out in a blaze of glory like the Vikings did than linger around, right? Even Theoden said, the old linger and the young perish. But, I have boomers just gawking at me everywhere. Everywhere I go, gawking. Like, what the fuck are you looking at? Okay, like, waving me when it's their turn to go on a four-way. Like, fuck off. I know how to drive. Like, gawking at me when I'm, mowing my lawn or sweeping my deck. Just, I don't want to look at another man ever. Okay, maybe I'll sneak a peek at a chick, but I'm not gawking at men constantly like these freaking boomers are. I don't know, like what I'm not dressed like a larpatru with my head shaved up the sides. I'm not wearing a robe. I'm dressed like a regular guy. Okay, like I don't understand what the fuck's going on with these boomers. Gawking constantly. Okay, I was driving the other day. I got a flat, so I pull over. Got the nuts off, jacked her up, took the wheel off. So I'm standing there, both wheels are on the pavement. Clearly I'm changing a tire. No question. These frickin' boomer yuppies pull up, and they're like, "Oh, do you know where the highway is?" They were on the highway. The highway is a straight line. You follow the highway in a straight line to your destination on the highway. I was like, yeah, you're on the highway. Like, what? Like, I don't know what you were asking me right now. Where's the highway? Not to mention, they didn't acknowledge my plight. They didn't offer help. Not one single word of what I was doing in that instance was uttered by the boomers. Instead, it was their plight that I had to assist them with. They talk about millennial entitlement. They talk about this and that with us, okay? Oh, you millennials, you can't change a tire. Oh, manual cars, anti-millennial theft device. Like, every millennial bud I know drives a frickin' manual Honda City, okay? We all can change tires. This garden nose drinking narrative has to end. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm telling you, the last stories I've had from the last couple of weeks, I record them, and I got a dash cam, but I really should have invested in a body cam because every time I leave the house, something stupid happens now. I can't avoid it. Okay. Boomers want to live forever. They want to upload their consciousness to eternal boomer world. It's just like that Black Mirror episode, right? That is actually what they want. They want eternal boomer life. Okay? I don't care. Whether it's lights out or whether it's something else, I would prefer that than this society for eternity. That is actual hell. If they steal my consciousness and upload it, that is actually hell. I'm never, ever. I would do whatever I can in the virtual realm to escape because there's just no way I'm living that. Okay? So there's lights out. Okay, I get to join my loved ones in lights out for eternity. Or if there's not lights out, I get to see them again. But, these, like, never grow old, never give up, wear the bikinis, these boomer women, they started the health craze, right? Granola and soy and all this shite. It's like, okay, you know what? I want to live a little. I want to have a couple brewskis. Yeah, recently I started nicotine maxing. Okay, lost like 20 pounds. Okay, don't eat till lunch. Pack in a little snus. I'm not smoking like a fuck pack a day. Like that's not helpful for anybody. Okay, just pack in a little snus, Swedish style. Don't eat for a couple fucking hours, and you're good. Okay, like I'm substance maxing. I'm on creatine, nicotine, caffeine, taurine, codeine. Okay, not codeine, but like, I don't care anymore. Like, I feel good. This healthorexia, exquisite max, and you have to have the glass bottled Perrier water and the freaking figs from Myanmar. Otherwise, you're a peasant. Okay, whatever, man. Like, Donald Trump is president and he lives off of Diet Coke and burgers. Okay, I'm old, man. I'm 33. Like, I found a freaking license of me when I was in 2014. Like, yeah, I'm old now. Like, I'm not peaking at 36. Okay, I'm not going to be going up in my SMV here. I'm probably a clone. I am experiencing rapid aging syndrome. I'm like Solid Snake. It's I've managed to keep some of the hair, like it's going at slower rates than my forebears, luckily, but it's gonna go by the time I'm 40. And you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to do the turkey tour. I'm gonna grow like a dirty handlebar mustache or mutton chops, and I'm just gonna run with it. I'm just gonna old max. Because at some point you just got to accept your mortality and that the next generation's time is now. I had my time in the sun. I don't regret it. I'm not going to cling on to it forever. I'm not going to, all these guys, I'm going to live till I'm 95 because grandpa, he lived to to 90 and I don't smoke, so grandpa smoked and I didn't smoke, so I'm going to live to 90. Like, why would you want to live to 90 freaking 5? That sounds like a nightmare to me. I come from a long line of men who lived hard and fast, and I am pretty much keeping up with that tradition because I realize that I am not the. I have. This is kind of part of my DNA, and I even got this analyzed. I know I'm going to get yelled at by. Look, you guys already know I took the plunge. I don't know. 10 years ago, I took the plunge, got my DNA tested. I was in like a normie haze at the time. I didn't really care. And yeah, okay, maybe they did clone me and kill me and replace me, and that's why I'm experiencing rapid clone aging. But like, whatever. I found it a lot of interesting, cool stuff about me that I think was valuable. I found out. I found out I carry hemochromatosis. Okay, I carry the Celtic disease. That's important to know. Like, because if I have a child with somebody who also has that, and both copies are inherited, then they have that disease. So yeah, I'm a carrier of the copy. I know my ancestry. Like now, I know to a T that I'm from the Isle of Skye. There's no debate. It's interesting to me. I know. I think it was worth it. I'm not saying do it. Like if you're paranoid about it, you're probably right. I'm probably effed. But whatever. I don't want to live till I'm 95 anyway. So it's all good. Um, but yeah, like this risk taking strain. It also said that I have a high risk in my blood, and I thought that was kind of strange. But now looking back, like yeah, I am high risk. I went to Ukraine during the coup just to get out because they were the only country on earth that would open the door to my unvied person. So I was unvied, and they let me in. And guess what? It was free. I could go and eat a wonderful $5 meal, and I could go live in a wonderful $400 apartment for 3 months. And you know what? That's what saved me during Ukraine. That's what saved me during COVID, I should say. And I get accused of being sympathetic to Ukraine. And guess what, guys? That's why. Because that was the only country I could go to that let me in and didn't shame me. I had to get some like BS Ukrainian health insurance or something like that. Like it was just you know, I love Slavic corruption. It's the best thing, okay? People saying, oh, Ukraine's corrupt. Oh, yeah, it is corrupt. It's awesome. I love corruption. I'd rather live in Slavic despotic corruption than altruistic Anglo Commonwealth, absolute door open to everybody. Yeah, the Ukraine question. Yeah, I'm sympathetic. You know why? Because when I was in Sweden and gypsies were harassing me, you know what the Swedes did? Absolutely freaking nothing. Okay, when I was in Ukraine and a gypsy would harass me, you know what the Ukrainians would do? And they'd just go at them. Okay, like Ukrainians were burning down gypsy camps left and right. Right. Okay, they're selling Swazis on the corner. Like, it's the only country in Europe where you can wear a Swazi and not go to freaking jail. Like people are making they're living off of Swazi apparel, and everyone is like hating them. You know, base Putin, savior of the white race is, and gonna freaking save our Anglo asses. Okay, yeah. Just look at the word Anglo-Saxism and his terminology, and you can see what he thinks of us. Although I would never say that I'm Anglo, but maybe to some I am. Whatever. So yeah, Ukraine. Wow, corrupt. Let me in during the coup. No wonder they want to get rid of them all. A country that did not comply because they're not in the EU, they're not in the RF. They were their own thing. It's just my take on it. You don't have to freaking, agree with me, disagree with me. My limbic system at this point is made out of titanium, so like it takes a lot for me to get bothered. We're going to look at some comments, and I'm just going to laugh today. People call me absolutely retarded stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm an esoteric grug. Like I am. So what? I'm not an intellectual. I'm an anti-intellectual. Okay, like it is what it is. I'm a fan of like continental philosophy and stuff like that, but I'm not. I'm not a scholar. I'm a freaking grug, man. I'm intuitive. That's what this is all about. But yeah, like okay, Ukraine is a horrible place. No, beautiful women everywhere, safe. Ukrainians actually helping me and stuff. Well, I guess I have a soft spot for them. You can see I stayed in Lviv. They're bombing Lviv's. I was in Lviv. They're bombing Lviv's downtown core. Like, I don't really see how that's liberating. It's clearly not about liberation. It's clear about depopulation. That's what this war is about, obviously. So, yeah. That's just some Brynor lore for you there. It was, yeah, so I've lost some weight too from the nicotine masking. I'm down like 20 pounds. Feels pretty good. I was getting kind of bloaty, getting kind of up there. I really wanted that 2 plate overhead press. But, I'm not built to be a power sharder. I realized it. It's just not my makeup. I like to have like you know what? I'm just in it for the aesthetics. I'm just gonna hypertrophy train, and that's just gonna be it. I don't care anymore about strength. It doesn't matter how strong I get. Like some, my people are gonna see my lips and make fun of me. I can rep 2 plates. I can hit 3. It's still pathetic compared to most of these people. I'm never going to get anywhere really. I just now want to just look good, and that's it. You know, it was fun. Because the strength training got me from like being really sick in my mid 20s to actually getting like, you know, better than the average normie. Like when I work out with my normie friends, it's hilarious. But I'm like curling their bench. Like I don't even know how that's possible. But I'm never going to, unless I want to hop on the trend wagon, which I'm not going to. The only way I do trend is if they threw me in. Since I'm soft on Ukraine, they're going to hear this. They're probably going to draft me now. If they drafted me, I'd hop on the trend. I'd be on trend. I'd be on meth. I wouldn't care. Again, the healthorexia, whatever at that point. I want the recovery at that point. I want to not sleep. So I'm hopping on every performance enhancing drug at that point, and I'm just maxing it out. I don't care. Because I really want to get strong for like the boo hurt. I really hate the word boo hurt. It's the worst term ever. It's the absolutely worst name for a sport ever. But it's actually called boo hurt. I just think butt hurt whenever I fucking hear that word. But anyway, I didn't name it. Francophones named it. And so I was like, I want to get strong so I could bash people's skulls in. And it was working a lot. It was working. I was getting stronger. But that sport, man, that sport is endurance. Like, there's a guy called Mighty Mouse. Just go look him up. This like 5'9" guy, 5'8" guy. He wears plate and he just runs around like nothing, just smashing people. It's awesome. Because if you don't have cardio, you're dead. Like, you can't breathe in those helmets. You can't see anything. And that's just the way it is in that sport. It's fun as hell, just smashing people in the head with an axe. That's for sure. I know some of you would love it, but sad to say that my group disbanded. Okay, I got a little story about that too. My group disbanded. You know why? Well, Mr. Captain, he decided that it was a good idea to promote this woman to second in command, and then eventually she was going to take over. This woman is about 5'5". She never really fought, ever. She kind of just like gave pointers, gave tips, basically told you what you're doing is wrong constantly. And but she had some assets. She had some cashola. She had, time on her hands, so she could commit a lot more than other people. I mean, that's the only logic I can see behind it. But anyway, she was promoted, and then, man, I think within like a month or two, like everything just fell apart. It just all fell apart. Just, the power struggle was real. And she became Queen Bee and told everyone what was what. And, one by one, the fellowship fell. And that was that. Which is very unfortunate because I got about a couple grand worth of armor just sitting around my house now that I can't even do anything with. Oh no. Oh well. It's still, the problem is I'd have to go to like Mordor. I'd have to drive south to Mordor to find a group down there, and I am not willing to do that for this, so I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe something else will pop up. Maybe a contingency group will form and we can, you know, get our couple grand worth of armor investments, put that back to good use. But I even shaved my soy jack beard for these people, okay? And then I realized, you know what I'm doing myself a disservice with the soy jack beard. Like I actually have a chin. I think when I was in my 20s, I grew out the soy jack beard because I wanted to look older. And I thought like girls liked beards or something. I don't know. Like there was a whole like millennial thing with beards. And then I recently shaved it. I'm like, you know what? This isn't bad. And then I realized, well, maybe I could like do the best of both worlds. I could have like mutton chops or, show the chin, or like have like a handlebar mustache. Some sort of like hybrid 18th century, 19th century type of deal going. They were smart because they show that they weren't recessed and that they could grow a beard. That was like the best of both worlds. But yeah, it's been quite the ride with you guys. I'm very grateful. I 2,000 subs is, I don't know, I didn't think this would happen at all. But no, I'm not. I'm very glad I have a small but engaged audience and people who are teaching me a lot, pointing out things that I don't pick up on, and I've come along. I've sifted through conspiracy, boomerism, bullshit for 20 years now. Pretty much since I was like 14. You know, I've sifted through so much garbage. I finally feel like I've plucked out a couple of nuggies for you guys that are digestible enough for you to get some sort of picture as to what, at least I can think as to what's going on. But it took a lot to get there. There was a lot of red herrings. There was a lot of crap. There was a lot of rabbit holes and junk and misinformation. And I think I've finally dialed it in to where I can be pretty comfortable with my schizoism and actually keep it at some level of cohesion where I can create an overarching narrative as to what I think is the hidden aspects of reality and whatnot. Of course, I will continue to try and refine and find nuggets and sift through that fucking garbage for you guys. Like, that's just what I do. Like, that's just what I've always done. That's who I am. That's what I've been since forever. I've always been a schizo. Even before, and when I was a kid, I was reading off the wall stuff anyway, too. So, it is what it is. I enjoy it. I have fun, and the best way to do it, guys, like, what the boomers would do is they would like give me these 9-hour presentations, and at the end of it, I'd be like, 15 years old, scared shitless at the end, thinking like the reptoids were coming to get me and whatnot. But what I like to do is, I like to mock. You gotta have some mockery in there. You gotta have some laughter. Otherwise, like, what's the point in this? Baphomet's a little bitch. Like, look at him. Like, he doesn't even know what is it? It's a he. It's a she. It's a he. It's a eunuch, right? It's a eunuch. It's a Inanna Ishtar, and you gotta kind of have some laughter. Bardic mockery is way funner. I laugh so much listening to you guys and just the takes and the people and everything. I've been laughing more in the last 2 months than I have in years. I think, dark times, whatnot, but it's it's been good. It's been very therapeutic. It's been fun. I think we can continue this theme of mirth. That's really the best way to go about it. You don't want to like. It's tough, like the looking at the darkness and stuff. And right now, like this is why I'm making this video. I just kind of need to recharge my mana for a bit, and then I'm gonna come back with some off the wall takes and some fun side quests and whatnot we can examine. I got so many ideas written down now to you guys. It's just been really, really fun, despite the gravity of the situation. We need to find some levity as well. Okay, well, I can look at some comments. People, making fun of me. Like, it's always good to make fun of me too. Like, I don't care, I am a grug. I'm a clone. I got my DNA cloned, and I am experiencing rapid aging. Oh man, yikes! I am Solid Snake essentially. Oh, we gotta look at that franchise as well. That franchise. I want to make a thing about video gaming in a while because I learned probably more from video gaming than a lot of stuff. And that's definitely anything they taught me at school. But I gotta find its comment. It was like in the Celtic video. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. What a dumb video. What a dumb narrator. I wanna be Celt. Oh my. If you knew anything about history and viewed those ancestry ethnicity results, the first thing that you would extrapolate from them was that you have Viking ancestry, which, least you don't know what that means. Okay, means that you very probably have a lot of ancestors who hailed from Norway, Denmark, Sweden, or Finland. Or Finland, guys. Yeah, all those Viking Finns, right? Going to frickin' Scotland, going to the Isle of Skye. All those Scottish islands were heavily populated and owned by Nordic countries right up to the 16th century. And you're 3% Irish. Well, that also is probably because your Ulster genes are now considered Irish, even though it's likely that a percentage of them have once again Viking origins. You are most definitely not a Celt, as so you sadly desire. It possible, it's possible that you have some ancient Celtic DNA as a result of your Nordic ancestors interbreeding with the native Irish or Scottish Gaels that ethnically were Irish Celts that were part of the Dalriada Kingdom, which invaded and populated Scotland in the 4th, 5th century BC. One thing is for sure, your DNA is 100% stupid. I can't work out by your accent if you're either another dumb American who wants to be Irish or just an unhinged Scandi trying to pretend that you are one of us on the internet. The fact that you mention whiteness in your video description is probably enough evidence of how ill-informed and stupid you are. Here's something for you small... I'm sorry, I'm cracking up. Here's something for your small brain to consider. The genome of the Rathlin Island man indicates that he had dark skin complexion and brown eyes, very similar to the people of modern-day Sardinia. And these were the original inhabitants of Britain and Ireland. Whoever this Muppet is needs to get a life, and I would strongly advise education to go with it. What a fool. Alright, guys, I just let the heart. Just because it was just funny, but... Okay, I guess, like, sure, like, yeah, the Dalreda and the Kingdom of the Isles was, of course, it was a Norwegian kingdom. I actually said that in the video. What I was trying to, like, and I've been discussing with others, is the fact that Ulster and, he talked about Ulster and all this type of stuff. Like, my little questioning is that, right, like, oh, 8 Brave browser, give me Google, please. Give me Google. Sorry. Brave. Okay, yeah, Google. Okay, what am I looking at? Yeah, R1B. That's it. Yeah, okay, so, like, this is why I have these questions. That's why I was leaning towards the Celtic thing. Like, okay, I know it's like we're all just arguing over top of each other with semantics at this point, all right? Celtic, Nordic, whatever. But what I tend to think and what I tend to see is that the R1B, there's a specific R1B too. Yeah, R1B DF27. Right? That's the one, I believe. Can I get a better? Here we go. Yeah, R1B or RL21. All right. My contention with this is that, okay, yes, Dalreda, Kingdom of the Isles, Norwegian lad, how much of the genetic fingerprint did they leave behind? Questionable, not sure entirely. But we see here that if we're just Nordic people, like we're just pure Nords, like there would be a lot more overlap between the haplogroups paternally for sure, between like the Nordics and the Celts. Okay, that's just my little take on it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Because this is the Germanic haplogroup, clearly, right? If I can get a freaking better resolution. Right. This is the Germanic haplogroup. As you can see, highly concentrated in, of course, the Germanic countries and the lowlands and England, less concentrated so in Wales, Cornwall, Brittany, Highland and the Isles, and parts of Ireland are also less concentrated. That's just like that's the reasoning I'm making behind here, guys, okay? Again, we see it here too. Like if we're Giga Nords, like it's slower here. And okay, maybe there was like kings and stuff, but I'm just asking like what was the genetic, they didn't have to have the biggest genetic leftover. They probably weren't clapping everybody's cheeks. There's probably like they probably didn't want the Scottish women anyway. They would have been importing Slavic top tier Slavs and top tier Nordic girls. So like what? I don't know what you guys are going on about. Anyway, like it's fun to investigate. It's interesting, but I don't see it as gospel or anything. You got the Slavic DNA. I don't know. It's haplogroups. It's the paternal haplogroup. So yeah, obviously there's other components to it. Anyway, that's just my reasoning behind like the whole Celtic thing. If we are Giga Nords, well, great, we're Giga Nords. Okay, cool. Freaking sign me up. Fucking I'll sneed heil with the rest of you, right? Like those Aussies, those blonde Aussies are gonna love me, right? Oi, mate, Sneed oil. Sneed oil, mate. Yeah. Hitler. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I don't understand it. Like these Aussies can just be sneed heiling in the streets, just like get away scot free. Man, if I sneed heiling, I'd have like 5 freaking cop cars roll up and throw me away and they'd lock away the key forever. Right? Yeah, so here's the other comment. Love your channel, but the weird anti-blonde fixation is a cope. Just be pro-white. It's simple. And then I replied, I love blondes. I should like his video. Okay. Like, here's the thing, guys. Like, I actually... You guys think I don't like blondes or something? I love blondes. What the hell are you talking about? I think where the message gets lost in translation is that, look, it's got to be a two-way street with the blondes, okay? If the blonde Aussies are going to sit around and say, "Oh, these brown hairs, they're subhumans, mate. We got to breed up the Nordic," right? Like, I'm cannon fodder to them. Okay, I'm not bending the knee to people who want me to be cannon fodder. It's just simple. I gotta look out for my own neck here. Okay, I'm not bending the knee to the Nordicists. That's just like cucking yourself, right? Okay, here's the thing about the alt-right or whatever and the dissident wignats, just give them a little scratch on the surface. Underneath, you're going to find a Nordicist. Okay? Like, they don't care about the Portuguese. They don't care about Greeks. They don't care about Sicilians. Most of them don't even like Slavs, okay? Like, scratch a wingnat, you'll see a Nordicist. That's the point that I was trying to get across. Like, when I was making fun of the quote-unquote Greek guy, did you guys actually think I thought that guy was Greek? Right? People like saying, unsubscribing. How dare you make fun of the Greeks? Oh, Alexander the Great was the blondest Nordic man on earth. It's like, okay, maybe he was, but like, did you see the point I was trying to make there, guys? I don't know. It's tough to be nuanced. It's tough to be. It's tough not like the guys who get it. You guys get it. You guys are smart enough to know what I'm saying. But like the people who don't, it's just whatever. It is what it is. It's just if you guys are allowed to poke at me and say I'm a brown-eyed Untermensch, brown-haired Untermensch, why can't I poke back and say, hey blondie, this and that. Your idol isn't blonde. Most of your higher ups in your movement weren't blonde. You know? Okay, if you're going to dish it, you should be able to take it. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, like, my brother's blonde. He's a freaking saint. Like, he's like the best, my favorite human. Um, you think I don't like blonde? I love blondes. Give me a break. Jeez. Anyway, I think most of you get it anyway. It's just kind of funny to point out the like the little nuances and just the groupthink that occurs wherever you go, whatever little subgroup you're in. There's always little groupthink and orthodoxy and tenets, and I never really did well with that stuff. If there was ever a mass movement, I would be shot. Pretty obvious to me. I would be shot. I would be seen as some sort of freak. I would be taken out back, put down a dog. I am. Just fine. But my strategy would be to be the Lebensfeld route and just write schizo books in my castle the whole time and just, get away with everything at the end and not ever get in trouble. I think that's like the funniest thing that ever happened in history. I thought the amount of racism that these guys had, like, absolutely mogged any racism that normie Natsogs had. These people, like, never even went noticed. I think it's just the most ironic thing in history. I mean, they didn't actually, like, go out and conquer anybody. I guess that's kind of an important factor there. But nonetheless, so funny. Anyway, it's been good times, you guys. Been good times. Y'all help me keep my sanity. That's for sure. Y'all help me keep my sanity. But I've seen you guys video requests. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. That's why I have to recharge my mana, because it's spent right now. If there's anything I can do in this life that's going to be, worth it and fun, it's going to be making these ball worshippers sneed and seethe constantly and as much as possible. And I hope you guys enjoy and partake in the sneeding as well, because this is really needed in life. Okay? It's been a good time, and met a lot of really smart people. Man, I've met a lot of you meet a lot of smart people in these circles. Like, just insanely smart guys. And the sad thing about Kali Yuga is that these insanely smart guys don't get utilized, right? They don't get utilized. They don't get the opportunities. Like, half these guys should be like directors of their own philosophy departments and universities. Instead, we get slop. We get slop departments. We get nothing. We get absolute trash. And meanwhile, I guess we're going inward and we're taking over cyberspace, which is it's a way to ride the tiger, right? If you're riding the tiger, you have to ride it in your own way. If that includes playing video games all day, so be it. If that includes, becoming a Atlantean Vril Chad. Okay, Atlantean Vril Chad is like one of my top commenters, one of my best subscribers. Like, this guy's outstanding. Right? You have to find the way to ride the tiger in this day and age, and it's going to be different for every person. I can't subscribe to you a particular way of going about it. For me, I do like the Vril Max. I do like the Vitality Max. It's not going to be for everybody, obviously. Yeah, I like the Vril Max. I like the Vitality Max. You just got to find what you want to do. And, if your path is intellectual philosophy and becoming the fucking most talented materialist Giga Nietzsche of all time, and then that's your fucking path, and good on you. If your path is being a grug schizo like me, then that's your path. You know, we all have to find our path in this decline, and it's I don't want to be the fucking Jordan Peterson saying be an individual, you know. But I guess in a way, you know, don't be a leave it to beaver individual. Follow the rules of society type of guy. Okay, I'm the anti Jordan Peterson, right? You know, be an individual, but you know, break all the rules essentially, or don't be an individual. You know, if you can actually like, I can't find a tribe that you know, it's like I can't find a tribe that I can actually like. Okay, these are the guys who have my back. If I could, fine, I would, but so far, like all the tribes I've seen have been wanting. You know, I remember a quote like somebody saying that when Alexander the Great looked at them, they felt like they could actually conquer Asia. I have yet to have that sensation of somebody looking at me and invoking a feeling of me being able to conquer a continent. So until I find that, like, I just don't really feel the need to find some sort of groups, because the problem with groups, as I illustrated before, Bohert, sadly enough, is that all the dynamics within society are poisoned by modernity and the decline. And that includes people and, you know, the outer rim of society like ourselves. So essentially, like, you saw this with like any type of subgroup movement. There's always a collapse, there's always a jockeying for power, there's always just the dynamics of the modern world poisoning any sense of unity or ability to gain momentum. It's just, to me, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not really, you know, I'm not into mass groups and everything. I've always been a lone wolf. I've always been a forest gnome. That's just kind of who I am. And I'm not interested in political stuff. I'm interested in the cult and schizoism. And sure, I have, you know, I could have political stuff. Yes, there's way better people at it than me. There's way better people at societal level stuff than me out there. But maybe, I don't know. You know, kind of a ramble stream, kind of just a stream of consciousness, just let everyone know I'm extremely grateful, and it's been a really good time. Yeah. All right. Well, you know, we'll just leave it there because I don't know where I'm going anymore. So, you know, cheers. I will actually post something, you know, relevant next time, but this is kind of a celebration little stream. So, thanks a lot, everybody, and I'll see you next time.